My favorite basketball card from when I was a kid, John Brisker, right? Now, if I wanted to sell this, I'd have to get it valued, right? And that's very subjective.
Let's talk about some of the narratives, because it's such a narrative-driven space. I mean, as we're discussing, it has sort of evolved. It's digital gold. Now there are a number of other use cases that are exciting, especially we'll get into the NFTs. But it's funny, I mean, I remember a few years back, it was blockchain, not Bitcoin. Banks coming out saying, well, we love blockchain. Don't ask us about Bitcoin. We don't love crypto, but we want to use blockchain. What did you make of all that? And now what has changed in terms of the reaction?
I agree with it. Yeah, in my first company, I wrote a lot of applications for decentralized or distributed databases, you know, and we would deal with replication, we would deal with all kinds of stuff, right? And so I always saw the value in blockchain, and that was always the same argument I had. The challenge was with blockchain, you had to make a complete commitment and write around it, and then in terms of a Bitcoin environment. And then when Ethereum came out with smart contracts, it all got simplified dramatically so that blockchain took on a completely different perspective and set of applications. And now there's another set of issues with Ethereum in terms of transactions per second. And so it's actually, they followed the same curve. And the difference is Bitcoin is kind of stuck with a store of value, even though there is a blockchain there. That's more just for confirming transactions that take place, you know, with Bitcoin, buying and selling. Where now with Ethereum, with smart contracts, you know, I'm teaching myself Solidity right now. It's not hard. If you've done any programming languages, it's pretty straightforward and easy. And so now you can start to see, and I started to see, the simplicity of creating smart contracts that are then stored in full in the blockchain, which are then immutable, right? And now you can start seeing, okay, what other things can happen with this? And now that we're starting to see level 2, 3, or 4 enhancements, there's a lot of narratives out there that are bullshit, right? But at the same time, fundamentally, there's a lot of strong components to it.
Clearly what excites you most or more right now are these applications and the NFTs, and a lot of that is Ethereum based, Ethereum built. Now, I've heard you say elsewhere that you still own more Bitcoin, but it sounds like you are in the camp of the Ethereum blockchain will be the one that's really the end-all be-all, or at least the evolution of Bitcoin.
You know, you talk to people who feel different ways, and it really depends on where their vested interest is. You know, I've read through and the roll-ups, which, you know, that's basically just batch processing, and that can work at some level. And it can work easily, actually, just depending on the scale. It's harder to get really, really big. And then you have sharding. That has its pluses and minuses. And then you have the multiple GPUs that you can bond together, and that allows you the greatest opportunity to grow fast and grow and scale. That, you know, we've seen that with AWS and Azure and all the rest, and AI. That's exactly what they're trying to do to scale processing. And so there are ways to solve the problem. It's just a race, right? There's the race to 2.0, if and when that happens. There's the race of the higher layers to see if and where that works, and if the applications start testing them and it works. And then there's the competitors that say, you know, why are you wasting your time? My blockchain does 40,000 TPS. Why are you even? And I charge you 1/100th of a penny for every transaction. Why are you even dealing with that? And so, you know, that's what makes a market. That's what makes competition, and that's the nature of business. And so, you know, may the best solution win.
Let's talk specifically about NFTs, non-fungible tokens. You know, we've thrown the term around. That is what has caught your attention most recently, and you're out there sharing these collectibles. Now, of course, there are different examples of this. It's happening now in music. It's happening with sports and sports highlights. And you know, I had asked you at the beginning of the interview how you explain this stuff writ large to newbies. Boy, NFTs are even further down the rabbit hole. I mean, you try to tell someone, well, you know, it's a digital collectible, and in some cases it's a video of a highlight, and they might say, well, I can see a sports highlight on Twitter.
Yeah, so, you know, look, I got my favorite basketball card from when I was a kid, John Brisker, right? Now, if I wanted to sell this, I'd have to get it valued, right? And that's very subjective. Then I'd have to wrap it up into, you know, some sort of, you know, some way to deal with it, to send it.
It better be condition, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, to verify the condition, I have to grade it, right? Then I have to package it, you know, and I probably, for the good stuff, I already have it packaged. and then I have to ship it. Then it has to be received. Then it has to be validated. Then I get my money, and you hope everybody is happy along the way, and not everybody always is. Yet, and it's not like I look at my John Brisker card, and I know nobody else knows who John Brisker is but me. He played in the NBA, and the reason I love this guy, he played for a Pittsburgh Condors team, and what I love about him, he quit basketball to become a mercenary in Africa, and that's what he was until he was killed as a mercenary. So that's a cool as hell story. That's all I know of it, but I always thought it was cool when I was a kid. And so but the real beauty of owning a John Brisker card is just the joy of ownership. I don't take it out and look at it all the time. The picture, right? John Brisker again, you can find that online somewhere. There's nothing unique, and it's not like the picture is artwork, and there's nothing special about the stats and the commentary in the back. All that's available online. It's the ownership that comes with it. And by physically having it, that's your only proof of ownership. Now fast forward to Topshots and NFTs, you get all the benefits of the joy of ownership without any of the hassles. Supposedly, right? Now you can argue, right, with Dapper and with Topshot, you can't get your money out. You don't have access to everything. Yada 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 yada. So there's, it's all new and it's all just growing. So we'll cut them slack. But generically with an NFT, all the same joy of ownership, all the value creation or loss for that matter, the friction-free trading and transacting, the ability to pay royalties to the original creator after every sale, which is enormous and really enables more creativity to come to the marketplace. Whoever designed good old John Brisker and took his picture is not getting any value whatsoever. Okay. And the next baseball card, it's the same thing. And every resale or tickets for that matter, whatever the NFT is, you're not getting any ongoing value, and that's a significant game changer. And so once you get over that perception that I have to physically be able to touch it and realize that's more hassle, but the joy of ownership is really what matters, then the game changes dramatically for everybody. And you're starting to see that with Topshots, and you're starting to see that with art. You're seeing it with CryptoPunks. You're seeing it with Beeble. You're seeing it with Bitcoin Origin. You're seeing it on Mintable. You're seeing it on Rarible. You're seeing it on OpenSea. You're seeing it on all these platforms. Because you still own it, and you get to track the value every minute of every day, as opposed to sitting there with my son and putting the card into maybe one or two programs or on eBay to see what it's worth.